Hi guys, this is Janet. I have Jamal Watson with me from Columbus State. First question to you. What are some of the emotions you feel when you see new videos of police brutality coming out?
Um, the first emotion I feel is anger. Um, I feel like we take 3 steps forward just to take 4 steps back sometimes. Um, Frustration. Um, every now and then it's just kind of hopelessness. Like, what else has to happen for these violent circumstances to come to an end? So it's very emotional watching the videos, especially, and reading the stories and seeing it over and over and over again.
How have you been coping with these emotions? What kind of self-care techniques have you been utilizing?
Uh, well, I like to take out any kind of, I guess, frustrations or clear my mind by working out. So go for a run, walk, lift weights, something, yoga, anything just to clear my mind from what's going on in the world.
How has quarantining or the pandemic affected your job and your personal life?
Um, my job, I feel like it's a lot more tedious, um, a lot more strict. We can't have so many athletes in the AT room at once, and so it's a lot more scheduling, a lot more crossing the T's and dotting the I's as far as the job goes. But um, everyone I work with is still in good spirits, still optimistic about the season. So everyone is healthy, which is most important. So it's just trying to get through the whole unknown of what's to come for this season. That's the hardest part, but getting through it.
And your student athletes, how are they coping with current events and the pandemic?
It's bringing a lot of conversation as far as what's going on with police brutality and racism. Because now during the pandemic, everyone is at home, so they're kind of forced to see what's going on. So a lot of people that may have been oblivious are now starting to understand what different ethnicities have been going through for decades in this country. Some people feel like it didn't exist anymore, but now they see that that's not the case. Um, and then as far as the pandemic goes, a lot of the athletes are they're frustrated because of last season ending short, this end season being unclear. Some of their seasons are being cut short and extended to January, so they're frustrated, eager to get back on the field, on the court, but they understand that this is some uh, more important than sports right now. It's just everyone's health and safety. So they're cooperative, but they're frustrated. They're eager.
Totally, same here. So personally, do you have a specific experience with racism?
Yeah. So one time in college, I was going to like a Halloween party, and we were going to pick up friends in my friend's car. My friend was driving, and we go to the apartment complex and we pick him up, and we notice that there's a cop just parked, lights off. Didn't look like he was looking for anybody specifically, but so we pick up our friend. We make a 3-point turn, U-turn, come back out of the apartment, and the cop is like rushing toward us, um, speeding like almost head-on collision. We both hit our brakes, and he jumps out with guns drawn. And he's like, "Everyone, put your hands on the dashboard. Driver, put your hand on the steering wheel. Don't move." All that stuff. So he's walking to the driver's side window, and then he instructs my friend, the driver, to roll the window down, and he's a little aggressive, asking what are we doing here and all that stuff. We're like, look, we're just here to pick up a friend. Like, I don't know what you think we're doing. Like, we're literally just driving and pick him up. So we kind of talked him down. Eventually, he put his gun away. I guess he assumed that we were robbing the area or something like that. I don't know. But we told him that we were students. And so he calmed down a little bit, but that was a scary situation. So that's one of the stories I've been involved in. That was probably the scariest one. But yeah, I've got a few stories like that.
That's not good. A good thing. That's terrible.
I know. I mean, the reality is it happens. It may not happen to everyone, but it does happen to minorities at a higher rate. Because a lot of my white friends have never experienced something like that. And for a period of time, I felt like something like that has happened once every 2 years. So, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, that was scary.
So how do you talk to your white friends about these experiences that you've encountered?
I explained it to them as logically as possible. I just asked them a lot of logical questions, try to put them in my shoes and see how they would react. Tables turn type situation. If this was you, how would you feel? And some people get it. Some people it takes a little bit of time, but I think the most important thing is that they fully understand, and you explain to them like it kind of is two different Americas, the one that you're used to and the one that I'm used to, and they're strangers to each other until we have that sit down conversation.
And do you feel like there's any barriers in those conversations? Are they productive conversations?
For the most part, the conversations I've had have been productive. No one really gets hostile. The people I've talked to, they seem to just sit and listen and want to learn, which is good, which is a great step. It's not really too many barriers. There's some people that are still naive because sometimes they didn't grow up in neighborhoods with any ethnicities, so they have no idea what's going on other than what they see on the news or social media. So when they hear it in person, I think they were a little more reluctant until I fully explain what I've been through and what some of my friends have been through, and they can start to relate because it's in person, someone who's actually been through that kind of stuff. But
so next couple minutes just for you, your final statement, Jamal.
I guess what I would like to see happen, not just in this profession or in athletics, but across the country, is for people just to understand that this is not, first of all, this is not new. This has been going on for decades and decades. That this is not just a Black problem or a Hispanic problem. This is an American problem, and that we have to come together in order to see some kind of change. It can't just be the responsibility of one ethnicity. It's got to be everybody. And just some understanding, being able to just sit and listen and not be too opinionated on subjects that you may not know too much about, or just being hypocritical. I see a lot of hypocrisy, especially on social media. People sometimes they just want to talk and don't want to listen, and they sometimes put a foot in their mouth when they should just let those who have the experience of racism talk about it instead of nitpicking what's right or what's wrong or who's in the right or who's in the wrong. Just listen to everyone's story and just do what's right.
Jamal, thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
No problem. Have a good one.